Welcome back, everyone. Michael here with Offshore Citizen. Today I'm going to discuss with you getting residency in Italy. Now, lots of people would say Italy is one of the most wonderful places to live, right? I mean, you've got great geography, you've got quite good weather, you've got great culture, you've got history, you've got all these different things. And then a bunch of people would say Italy is a terrible place to live. It's bureaucratic. It's got, pickpockets and things like this. A lot of things don't work. It's terrible. So you get both perspectives. This being said, if you're one of the former, then hey, listen, this video is going to be for you. I've done a few videos talking about some of the really favorable tax regimes you can get for 10 or 15 years in Italy. And so today I'm going to talk a little bit about how to go there, because it's one thing to get the tax regime, it's another thing to say, how do you relocate there? So we're going to talk about 3 different options. And before we do that, if you haven't already, please smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the all notifications so you get updated. I really appreciate your support. And if you'd like help with these subjects of relocating abroad, paying lower taxes, setting up a company, opening bank accounts, all these types of international things, please reach out to me. You can book a call, calendly.com/Michael-Rosmer. There's a link in the description below, or you can send us a message through offshorecitizen.net or offshorecapitalist.com. All right, let us dive in. Okay. So 3 different programs. The first is the elective residency. Okay, so how does the elective residency work? This program, you have to prove $31,000 or 31,000 euros, a year of passive income. Now, what do they mean by passive income? It's any non-employment or self-employment income. Dividends paid from your own company do qualify. So in practice, for most people, this is not so difficult to do. Again, not for everybody, but not so difficult to do. Now, the disadvantage of this program is you are precluded from doing any employment or self-employment work at all in the country while you are there. So for most people, probably not the most exciting thing to do. You're going to pay a health contribution of 2,600 euros a year and, go through that process. Then you're going to deal with your taxes and whatever else accordingly. The second thing that you can do is they have a golden visa there. Now there's a bunch of different golden visa options, and I'm not going to cover them all here. It's generally really expensive. It kind of sucks. But the one option that is maybe a good option for the right person is you can invest 250,000 euros into a business. Now, interestingly, and this is kind of the hack that most people would probably take advantage of who are watching this channel, is if you have your own company, you can register a branch office or a trade representative office in Italy, and you can then, via an intercompany transfer of 250 grand, invest in your own company, and you can make it work that way. So that's one of the more attractive ways to go. The third way, which is probably the most attractive for a lot of people, is you can establish a business. And you can register for VAT, and you can put like 10 grand a year through there, and you can qualify on this basis. And that one's a little bit better because of the fact that you're actually allowed to do business, because it's a business visa. So all of these, I think, are relatively decent. The time frame takes about 3 months to go through. It starts in your own country. Okay, so you apply in the consulate of your own country. It's a little bit tricky if you're wanting to, I mentioned previously, in some cases, you're allowed to go to a consulate in another country. In the case of Italy, kind of tricky to allow you to do that. So there are some exceptions, but not usually one that's going to apply to you. And so, if you're someplace like Canada and you're living in Vancouver and you have to go to a consulate in Ottawa, well, it's going to be a little bit of an inconvenience, but hey, that's part of the process, I guess. Relatively accessible to go through. Again, there's bureaucracy, but if you go through and work with somebody who's an expert, then that eases up quite well. Some interesting things about Italy. So you can get citizenship after 10 years. Perhaps the most interesting, I think this is the most interesting to me. If you marry an Italian, you can get citizenship within 2 years. So that's pretty cool of residency in Italy. You can do it within 4 years if it's abroad. Now you do have to pass a language test. I believe it's B2 in Italian. There's some different ways how they get certified, etc. But Italian passport is quite a good passport. And if you can, if you happen to be marrying an Italian and you can get it in 2 years, this is one of the fastest, high quality passports that you can get. And it's very interesting that you can get it without actually living in Italy the entire time. Very, very interesting. So something worth considering for people looking for a good quality passport that is fairly quick and fairly easy. They also happen to have a reasonably good citizenship by descent program. I'll do maybe some other videos on that. It goes back to, I think, 1861 of ancestry, so a lot of people can qualify for it. A bunch of these things, they do take time, right? Going through the citizenship application process, typically probably about a year. If you're talking about citizenship by descent, more, unless you're living in Italy. So anyway, those are some things. Like I said, the tax planning part of it I've covered in, I think, 3 separate videos. So I've got one on international tax planning for Italians. I've got one for talking about the 70 to 90% discount on local income, and one on the 100,000 euro discount, which is also, any of these can be potentially useful for you. So if you want help with any of that, with residencies, with tax planning around it, etc., please reach out to me. You can book a call. Again, calendly.com/Michael Rosmer, link in the description below, and I'm happy to help you. If you have questions, put them in the comments below. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If not, please tell me why. And I'm always happy to hear criticism and feedback on how to improve. So thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And we will see you guys on the next video.